Hey, how's it going, everybody? We are actually live and doing this thing. We are back with a theme top 5, and this week is a hot topic that sort of surrounds a lot of the things that we're doing on CBSI this week. We dropped a back 9. We dropped Ben down there, who's with us today. Woohoo! The master of the first appearance lists of CBSI Star Wars is with us tonight, and he is also the creator of the theme top 5 list every week over on comicbookinvest.com. So make sure you're heading on over there for all of that content for free. I am Mike. I do cover fire and cover tunes and back 9 and interviews and stuff. We've got the nicest guy in comics over there, Peter Renna. Although maybe he's the most aggressive guy in comics after. It's a tough week.
He's hungry.
Who does dollar bin digging. He does a video for dollar bin digging and some unboxings as well. And so check out his stuff.
It'll be up tomorrow.
And then and then from the bunker of golden goodness, we have Ben C down there, the guru of CBSI, and we're here to go through the list a little bit, chat, BS, get down to some nitty-gritty Star Wars. Talk about some really cool books that they've sort of been mentioned here and there. Some of them have been talked about a lot. Some of them have kind of fallen under the radar and back up above the radar, and they've all eventually at some point gotten pretty hot, and are for those people that are really specking hard on Star Wars. These are sort of the books people are looking at. Of course, we all know that there's the Sabine Wren books. We all know that there's the Ahsoka Tano books. We know about the sort of the Jedi books, but the Sith stuff is kind of one of these areas that nobody over at Disney or Lucasfilm has really talked about what they want to do with these characters. So as a result, there are so many of them that people are like, well, which one are they going to use? What are they going to use in a show? What are they going to use in a cartoon? What are they going to use in a movie? I don't know. I'll just go buy them all. Yeah. So as a result, all of these books, all of these characters have kind of blown up a little bit or a lot, depending on which ones people think are really important. And these are the ones that we think are important, or the ones Ben thinks are important, and I agree with him.
Yeah.
I was going to say, for what it's worth, not to interrupt Mike, but before we start, it's also important to note that before there was a Star Wars list, there was lots of Star Wars on CBSI, man. I was just the dude who came to the party and I don't know, spiked the punch. Like, I don't fucking know what happened. We were all right.
You took all the Play-Dohs. You took all the Play-Dohs and you smashed
between Morello and Topher. I mean, Mike, Topher, even
You brought the cups. You made sure everybody could get a drink.
Yeah, it's important to know, like, that's where I learn.
Yeah.
And it's important to note that when I have a question about this stuff, I am grossly overconfident in my comic book knowledge of Star Wars right now. And it's bad. But that said, whenever I need to know why something could be good, and that's a huge part of speculation, investing, whatever it is, you need to know why these books are good. You can't just go, oh, I bought it because they said it. Like, you need to know who is in here, why. And that's when I go to Morello, Topher, Marco. Anyway, sorry, keep going.
Oh, totally. And look, here's the thing too. We do this stuff because we love all of it, all the stuff that we do. And I really love Star Wars. I've lived Star Wars. I'm branded for life, Star Wars forever. It's no joke. This whole room that I'm in is everything on the walls. Everything is Star Wars. I love Star Wars. So, I mean, I am the kind of guy that we talk about a lot, which is Star Wars collectors. We hoard our shit. We do not. We don't give it up. The market has exploded so much because there's so few of these real good books out there, because Star Wars fans don't care what they're worth. They just want them. They're completists. They want to own this stuff. They want to read it. They want to have it around them. It's just one of those things. And so as a result, some of the rarer books just don't pop up very often. And when they do, they go for a fair amount of money, and there's usually a feeding frenzy for them because there's a lot of Star Wars fans that don't have them. And and I'm just as much a culprit. My 3 or 4 long boxes full of Star Wars stuff, that stuff ain't new. I didn't buy that stuff in the last few months. I've owned those things for decades, and they're my copies from when I was like a teenager. Say again?
You've invested in extra copies of things you believe in.
Yes.
On.
Absolutely, absolutely, yes, and I'll continue to do that because I wholeheartedly believe in these things. It's my passion, and I love it. And so, of course, when I find the good stuff, I buy extra copies, and sometimes I just give them to friends, and I want them to read them, and I want them to enjoy them, and stuff like that. Or my brother and I, we trade back and forth. We've done that with action figures and comics for years and years and years. We keep a little tally on our phones. We have a little Excel spreadsheet that we share. Like, you owe me this and I owe you that. And the whole thing. We've done it for years. We did it with cards. We did it with minis. We did it with all kinds of, figures and comics and you name it. So, and that's the way Star Wars fans work. We've done that. We've always done that. So as a result, these books, Star Wars fans don't care if these characters ever really make it to anything media. They're already awesome to us.
Yeah.
We already want these books. If they end up being even cooler because one of these characters ends up in a movie or a show, well, shit, that's even better. So, Star Wars culture it's like Spawn collectors. They're the same way. And that's why Spawn books go for so much money, because those guys don't let those books go. And some of them are really short printed, just like a lot of the Star Wars books are short printed. The Dark Horse years got a little lean there for a while. It's one of the reasons why Dark Horse sort of gave up or lost the license to Marvel again, because they weren't selling books. So as a result, some of these are pretty rare. Not necessarily the books that we're going over tonight, although a couple of them are, but some of the other books that have gotten hot they're not common. And when they do come up, they're usually thrashed because they've been sitting in dollar bins for years. So
stick around after the list, because once we get through it, we're gonna talk a little bit of Star Wars spec.
Yeah. Yep.
A little bit of extra tonight.
All right.
Absolutely. Do you boys want to head right into the list, or you got other shit to say?
Let's go.
I can't wait to see Peter's first graphic.
Okay. Yeah, me too. I want to know what he picked.
Oh, we got number 5.
Nice.
Oh yeah. And this one landing at number 5, this is one of those ones I'm like, oh, this is kind of like number 1 in my little heart of hearts. This is the book that I really, really love. And I don't just love this one. I really love the Dynamic Forces variant, but we'll talk about that maybe a little bit more at the end of the show rather than right now. But this book is First Darth Bane. And if you don't know who Darth Bane is, it is time to get out of this show, go away, and go look.
But not really.
But not really. No. But please don't leave. But you want to look up this guy. That's the picture I was hoping you were going to grab too. That's the picture. Bane is one of those characters that is, I'll keep this brief. He essentially was a Sith who thought the old Sith ways were dying out, and he wanted to sort of create new ones. So he created the infamous Rule of Two, where there's a master and an apprentice. And there is now a novel series with him, the Rule of Two novel. He's an incredibly important character. And if they do anything Old Republic related at Disney, there's no way they have to use this character. They have to at least mention this character. He has to at least be part of that story arc somehow, even if it's flashback. I don't know. I see no way they could possibly ignore this character. So as a result, he's uber important. I hate to use that, but he is. I mean, he's that important. And he's got a ghost of a variant that you have to go find. I don't know how else to tell you. The regular number 1 is not all that scarce, but it is hard to find in good shape.
Back to the
What
are the regulars selling for now?
It's interesting because from the get-go, I really got behind this book. And I'm guilty of not having opened it, and I just knew Bane was a badass and this, that, and the other. And about a week ago, I was smart and I bought the trade for this, because I think that's another show, but I think Star Wars trades, I think we're all in fucking trouble. So I came in, all right, so I opened the trade. I'm in Morello Knows. You read the first 3 pages and you're like, what is happening right now?
Yeah.
Go check it out. That said, $50 get you a copy, which floored me because I thought this was going to be number 1. I don't know what else to say to that.
Well, that's my fault. That's my fault.
What Mike said.
That's my fault. We talk too much, and I'm always harping on this book. So
But
if you just listen to me,
can't
this
dark.
is number one.
The importance is 100%. Like, it's listening to you, but you're not incorrect, right? Like, no matter how you cut this, Bane is one of the most popular characters in Star Wars, period.
Yeah.
Up with Revan, who is, oh Christ, right, Peter?
Yeah,
And
we'll
it's
save that for later.
And it's all from that game. I mean, let's face it. That game won all kinds of awards, the KOTOR game, and it has spawned all kinds of great characters that people have wanted Lucasfilm / Disney to use for the whole time. And this is maybe the best one with the richest backstory now, with a set of novels, a really great comic series. And look here, let's take a look at this too. Let's talk Thrawn for a half a second. Right. So I realize Thrawn is maybe a little bit of a different situation because he's already appeared in animated stuff. But Bane has appeared in video game stuff, or at least been referenced in video game stuff. And you have a character like Thrawn who appeared in novels first. Heir to the Empire novel has sold 15 million copies. That means there's 15 million people out there who at least know the name Grand Admiral Thrawn. I don't know what the sales data is on the Darth Bane series, but it ain't 10 copies. And so there's a public out there that knows who this character is, and you're talking about a book that only has a few thousand print run, and then a variant there's only 2,000 of. If this character hits, there is not enough supply for the demand of a character like this if they make him important. And this book will explode. And I know I said that, I said that about Ahsoka a couple of years ago, and we're seeing that now, right? I mean, there's just not enough Ahsoka books out there for the people that want them. So I think this book could do the same thing. I think if you can find a copy of this on the cheap side, $20-$30, you have to buy it. If you see the variant at all and you don't buy it, you better call me, or you better call Ben, or you better call Topher or Peter and tell us, because we're going to buy it.
Yeah.
So simple as that. Anyway, I think that's enough on this book. Unless, Ben, you got anything to add about good old Bane?
No, sir. I think you quite.
I crushed it.
Nailed. Yeah, you man crushed it.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely mansplained the hell out of that one.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's go with the formula.
You did that with Ahsoka, and I bought one because you did it.
Yeah.
So we don't run thin, because that wasn't Star Wars 23 or 24.
No, true.
So we're moving to 4.
Okay. Oh yeah, the fan favorite. The fan favorite. So someone else talk Maul.
No, we literally. All right, I'm gonna bust it because we're live. We literally, you're gonna intro, you're gonna talk, and then Peter and I are gonna follow up. But we're gonna keep it to 2 or 3 sentences so we don't go 4 hours on.
Okay, I mean Maul is Maul. Maul is a fan favorite. They killed him too early in the movies. They never should have. He's an awesome character. They brought him back a couple of times in Clone Wars, Rebels, and in Solo. They're gonna keep using this character. They'd be dumb not to, and you have to have his first appearance. It's just that simple. And you're looking at it right here. 2 different covers for this puppy. Both have, there you go. Both have Maul on it. I kind of like the first one better. I think, Ben, you like the first one better too, although I like them both.
I think the market likes the first one better, but it's important to know that the newsstand is the photo cover.
Yes. True. Yep. Which we're going to talk about again when we get to Tails as well. It's the same deal there. But either way, I don't think you can go wrong with either one since he's on the cover of both. I think he cameos in the issue before this. Am I right about that?
I think he cameos in the first issue.
First issue, that's right. As a hologram.
Yeah, I don't know enough. With this book, I never paid attention. The only thing that I'll say about this book, besides echoing your need to put it in your portfolio, which everyone should. Mm-hmm. This is also first Mace Windu. I have it as like Return of the Sith something, and Jason Shaw a couple days ago messaged me with the panel and then dropped it in the back 9 yesterday. What the hell day are we on? Today?
Yeah, it's Thursday. So
so folks that are looking for more Star Wars content, check out the site. The CBSI authors every week put together a back 9, and this week was Star Wars Back Issues Part 1. Oh, and it's important to note, on a side note, tonight tonight is only Dark Horse books. We didn't do Marvel.
Yeah.
Right.
So when people are like, what about Darth Vader? And I'm like, I made it Dark Horse so we didn't have to do Vader because he's the only Marvel appearance that would have had to. You couldn't not do it.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Dark Horse.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, book 3.
No, totally. Yep. So Maul is Maul. There's no arguing Maul. Some people will want to put him as number 1 because he's Darth Maul, but that's not where the values of that book fall. So number 4 it is for Maul.
It's not hot enough, man.
No, it's not. It was on the cover.
Oh, there you go. So there's his animated, his robot legs version.
So, yeah, I forgot. I gave everybody a slide.
Gave everybody a slide. Nice. All right, so book 3. Oh boy, the rabbit hole that is the Star Wars Tales books. Yeah. So you've got 2 covers for this guy. So what we were just saying, you've got this one, and then you got a photo cover, and the photo cover exists in newsstands as well. And it's pretty ghostly as well. It's really tough to find, especially in good shape. For some reason, these books always have really nasty ticks on them. It's a really thick book with a heavy cover. It doesn't look to be pressable. I've never tried to press one, but I mean, man, when they get a tick, it is a nasty tick, and it doesn't look like it's coming out. And it usually color breaks. It's a mess. So this is the Darth Malak, Darth Revan famed book, and since then, there's been a lot of extra books came to the party after this, but these books still seem to be the ones the market likes in a lot of ways, other than the KOTOR 9. But I want Ben to talk about all that.
Yeah. So, well, I'm going to say before, it's important to note this is the only comic book appearance of Darth Revan. This is the only comic book appearance of Darth Malak. I understand 2 weeks ago, CBSI went and hipped everyone to our J. Tom's info, the dude on Instagram who hooked up the go look at KOTOR 31. I'm like, oh shit, that's first Malak. That's a huge book. Revan, KOTOR 9, that's a huge book, but that's not Darth Revan. Right, Mike? And there's a huge difference.
There is a huge difference. Now, I also realize that this book is really just a cameo.
Yeah.
It's not really a full appearance. It's like 2 panels, and you see each of them. Like, one of them may even be from like the back, but it's them. And this book has been known by Star Wars fans for a really long time, so it's going to be hard to undo the market. But you're right, Ben. I mean, that's the way this rolls out. Now, that said, like we always say, buy all of the books. Buy 9, buy 31 KOTOR, and buy both copies of both covers for Tales if you can find them. They're all really good books. It's sort of like Sabine, right? Buy the Rebels magazine, buy the Lego thing, buy a Kanan 1. Don't buy a Kanan 6 because there's nothing in that.
Kanan 6 and Lego magazine, like, come on, man.
It's a comic book.
I will say this: 42.
Yeah. Yes.
42 is such an important book, and this is a classic situation of we're not opening the book, and the information on the CGC label is not incorrect. Man, it's like fucking Ant-Man. Like Tales to Astonish 27, I get it. It's the first fucking Ant-Man, but it's not. 35 is. Like, but then, so take that, but make it 100 times worse. Like,
yeah.
42 is the first time, and I'm not there yet. I'm still reading, but like I've looked at the book enough, and I've read Peter's article. I'm sorry, Peter.
Months ago.
Usual, right?
Yeah, Usual Suspects. Which
okay, Usual Suspects.
Get back
to it. Which goes into depth on the panels that are in 42, which shows Revan getting the mask. Revan, the first time you see Revan not in a brown robe and people going, the only reason you know it's Revan in 9 is because you're Star Wars fans. Nobody else in the world knows. And I'm still not convinced, man. I mean, I get it, but that could still be Hazen. It could be a fucking, it could be a dude in a robe. Like, that book's grossly overvalued. 23 at least. There are 2 pages of Malak in 23. There's
Is it 2
Malak
pages?
defeated. Yeah, so the Revan cameo is Revan like standing back after he kicks the shit and like takes his jaw and shit.
It's been like 20 years since I looked at it, so.
Yeah.
So well, it's one panel too. I mean,
Yeah, true.
I've looked at it 40 times in the past week because I wanted to, compare it to 42. And then anyway, Malak has a second page in that though, where he's in like 3 panels. He doesn't speak, but he's got the full metal, and that's like the post. That's the post Revan putting him in his place, right?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, and don't forget the popularity of both of these characters comes from a freaking amazing video game that's still awesome. I replayed it recently. It's still an awesome game. It won all those awards for a reason. It sort of changed gaming, at least console gaming anyway. And for Star Wars, it opened up a completely new lore that we've wanted to see on screen for ages. There is not a whole lot of comic appearances of all of this stuff, and we just want more of it. So, I mean, a good copy of this book is like $100 book now, Ben, I think, right? Something like that.
Tales?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tales like 100, 150. It beat out No. It's a little shy.
Okay.
The number 1 book is what beat it out, because the number 1 book kind of threw me. Or whatever.
Yeah.
The other Tales. 20 fucking Nihilus. We know where this is headed.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't look behind my head, because then you'll know what we're going to.
Well, and KOTOR 9 obviously got big as well, because a lot of other media kind of got hipped to it after
Respect to Topher for breaking. There's I am not trying to take anything away from it when I complain about it. If 42 is valued at the same, I would bitch less.
Yeah.
And 23 should be more, in my opinion.
I agree. I think so too. And before I miss this, George, we'll address your question later. It's a good question, but now's not the time. So hang tight. Well, just let's get through the Darths first, and then we can start to talk about Rebels and stuff if you want to talk some Star Wars spec.
All right.
But there's a legitimate answer to your question, and I do want to hit that. It's a great question.
I want them to clip it and make commercials once you do.
No problem. And you can say I said it. And you can blame it all on me. Okay, so this book.
I'm here.
All right. There's all kinds of reasons to love this book, man. And I don't even know where to start. You could start with the fact that it's an Adam Hughes cover and it's sexy as hell. You could start with the fact that there's like 3 first appearances and they're all on the damn cover. You could talk about the fact that there's 3 printings of this book and the 3rd print is a ghost.
Yeah. There's the second.
Oh, Peter, that was savage.
Yeah.
And then we got the 3rd.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. And the 3rd print, the 2nd print's not common either, but the 3rd print, I can't even remember the last time I've seen a copy of the 3rd print. But regardless, you've got cool characters. When this came out, people latched onto the sexy girl. So whatever. You got Crate off there to the left, you got Nile over there on the right, and you got Talon in the middle. And you've got this really amazing cover. And this book hasn't seen its full potential yet either, because technically this isn't even a key yet. I mean, it's a key because they're first appearances, but these characters haven't really done anything with any of these characters. So there is enormous potential for this book. And if you can get your hands on a nice copy of this thing right now, boy, are you in for a treat if they ever use these characters.
Especially if you gamble like a savage man.
Yeah, like someone that I know. But there's high grade copies of this are in any of the printings are nearly impossible to find. All the covers for the first 8, I want to say, are all Hughes and awesome. But this is the best one.
I think it's 6. I think it's first 6.
I was gonna say in my head 6 is the Imperial cover, the red armor cover, but I don't know what 7 or 8 look like in my head. So like,
I got them in a box, bro. I think it's 6. I think Hughes went to 6.
Rob S. Nerd Haven, because 0 came out later. That's why nobody cares about the 0 issue. So 1 is actually before 0.
No. 0's the quarter issue. For Legacy, 0's a quarter issue. It came out a couple months before. The reason nobody cares is it's a preview book. So it's treated like a cash can almost.
Oh, okay.
I might be wrong. I think you're confusing Legacy and Coder.
Maybe you're right.
Because
Yeah.
Coder Zero
Make sure, because I
came
may
after, but has Squint.
And then there's also the 0.5.
That came out. So the silver 1/2 came out like a year later.
That's what I'm thinking of. I forgot about that. That's the one I'm thinking of.
So the argument becomes, and this is where Mike, this is a perfect example of where I'm like texting, hangouting, calling, or carrier pigeoning Morello. All right, man. So I posted this a few days ago, and immediately, and you know, it's a great point. I immediately got from somebody, wait a minute, Ben. You know, blah 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 blah. Basically, because I was like, fuck number 2. People keep saying Talon is first appearance is 2. Like, I'm done with it. Like, pick up a book. So somebody came back and was like, wait, like, to be fair, if it's only cover appearances and you're citing, you know, this because, you know, her first appearance is in 2. Like, no, dude, it's not.
They're both June. They're both June 06. 0 and 1 are both June 06.
Then maybe that's why. Maybe they came out together, and then that's exactly why people were like.
And the market chose the Hughes cover because Hughes.
And the full book, and
the full,
like I think story. The inside, if you open the inside, it's just a preview of like pictures. Like it's not like part of the story or anything.
It's not an actual
gorgeous cover though. Another gorgeous cover though.
I dig the cover, but I mean it's impossible to argue when people are like, you know, blah 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 blah. Captain Marvel 17. I don't think it's right, but it's right. The market decided. I think this book is right, and it is. The market's decided.
Yeah.
The bitch of a book, the bitch of a thing with this kind of thing is what we were talking about earlier, which I think Peter knows more than anybody, newsstands.
Yeah, that's what I grabbed these down for. Because I just want to pick up on it because, again, on back 9, Nico had mentioned Coder 9 and mentioned the newsstand part of it for something to look out for and how the direct will say direct, but the newsstand will say Star Wars. So I just happened to notice I actually had one of each. So I figured I would just show them so you guys could see the difference between the two. So you can see the one on the top. I don't know if it's blurry or not. It's the Star Wars Presents. That's the newsstand. And then the direct is just the direct one below. They both have barcodes, so you can't use the barcode only kind of check. You got to actually read what's there. So if it says Star Wars Presents, that's the newsstand version of it. And direct sales would be the direct.
And with the crazy townness of newsstands these days and second prints and all that kind of thing, you really want to keep your eye out for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because it's very
this is one quick trick. When it doesn't say Star Wars Universe on it, if it says Star Wars Adventures, you get a little code thing.
I gotcha.
I can't tell you how many, you know, when you scan pics, you catch that immediately.
Kev's Collectibles.
You know?
Kev's Collectibles just pulled the trigger on, he says, on the Dynamic Forces Darth Bane. Congratulations, sir. You just got yourself one hell of an awesome book. Congratulations. That's really awesome, dude. That is awesome. Yeah. I imagine that you paid a little bit for that, but good for you. I think
I'm right behind you, brother.
Surprised. You'll never have a problem moving it, that's for sure. It's so damn rare. There's Star Wars fans that want it. Even if that thing never really sees a huge gain, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. I
don't think it can't not see. I want to go back before we move on.
Yeah.
I want to really, first of all, I want to address the savageness of Peter's newsstand. Because for folks who aren't familiar with newsstands, the multiplier on a newsstand, I don't even know, man. It's like a 9-8 versus an 8.
Like, and I told you, Ben, before we started, I was like, yeah, and I know where I got it for because they still had the $5 sticker on it, and the book was in there upside down, and this one shop I go to always bags their books upside down, so I remember where I got that thing.
Oh, we have a place like that too, and they do it with masking tape on the back. It drives me crazy because it ruins the bag when you open it. They're like, well, but it's secure that way. I'm like, but I got to rebag and board every single book I buy from you.
I do that anyway.
Real quick before we go on, price-wise, this is hitting $100, guys.
Yeah.
This is hitting $100, and we know that these, nobody will use the word near mint, but all these folks using the loose high grade.
Yeah.
Like Mike said earlier, man, these books are not high grade. They're fucking 8.0s, 8.5s.
Yeah. And those the later printings are even higher, even right now. Like that third print, copies for $200-$300. asking prices. Not saying they moved at those prices, but that's where people are at.
So good luck.
That could look cheap later.
Yeah, so if you can get your hands on a 9.8 slab right now, these books, any of these books that we're talking about, but especially this one, boy, could you be sitting on a gold mine in the future.
Yeah, again, it's not one. You're getting 3 shots at the apple here.
Yep. Oh, here we got some interior art. Oh, that's a great panel. Nice work. That's cool.
Is this the interior of one?
Yeah. I'm not sure. This might be 2.
I just want to say if it is okay. I'm like, if it's this is probably 2 because of Talon, and that's the argument. 2. But
yeah, I think
that's all the reason you need to read that. And on a side note, mybargaincomics.com. I fucking hope I got that right. And I can't use a clip. Sorry. Steve Horn. We did a giveaway on the site for a legacy, for the first legacy trade. He's got a great price on it, man. If someone's looking and you guys want to support the people that support the people that are doing shows, check out our friend Steve.
Doc J, congratulations on your Mandalorian speeders. Those things are awesome. It's the best $15 right now to buy for toys. And that guy, DZ, Tales of the Jedi and Dawn of the Jedi, too far down the Star Wars lore rabbit hole to spec on them. No, not at all, but they are a lot more common than a lot of the books that we're talking about right now. So I don't expect them to see the same kind of boosts just because they're earlier Dark Horse and they're a little bit more common. But otherwise, no, I would honestly, dude, and this is coming from a Star Wars fan, so I'm definitely biased. Buy every first Star Wars appearance, especially Darths, especially Sith stuff, because once the names hit for whatever Disney Plus show or a movie or whatever, you're already priced out. So buy them now.
Unlike superheroes, villain spec works in the Star Wars universe.
Yes, that's a fantastic fucking point right there. That it did all rules to the wind when it comes to Star Wars. We love our villains.
Just opposite.
We kind of hate our heroes.
Yeah, like opposite.
Other than Ahsoka Tano and Sabine Wren. These days. I mean, come on.
I want to say real quick, in follow-up to DZ.
Yeah.
Dude, Dawn of the Jedi, I agree with Mike. Tales of the Jedi, it's too, like, the Sith Emperor's in there and like Mandalore and shit, but like they're never going to hit the way these books. They're just not going to hit that price. Dawn of the Jedi, on the other hand, Dawn of the Jedi 0 and the 1 and the variant for 1 and the second and third print for 0. Those are 1,000% on the same page as these books to me.
The variant's a one of 1,000, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, the variance is a 1 in 5, or it's a 1 in 5 or a 1 in 15 for Dawn of the Jedi 1.
It doesn't have one of the Dark Horse. The 100, kind of like a Ahsoka's first, where they have the 1,000 copies.
The Dark Horse hundreds are Clone Wars, Dark Times,
Tate's?
The original. No, Dark Times. Oh. Tate's is its own thing. Tate's is a Spark Remains.
Oh, right.
And Sith Spiral.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that one.
Like I said, man, Star Wars comics, shit's right here. What they mean? Hey, Mike. Like,
Ben goes to me the other day.
Yeah, Dawn of the Jedi.
Ben goes to me the other day and goes, this character doesn't appear in comics. I looked everywhere. I'm like, actually, he's in this one.
It's not even in this one.
You're like, what are you talking about? What is happening right now?
He's on the cover. That's what it was. It wasn't he's in the book. It was he's on the cover.
He's on the cover, Ben.
Yeah. I was like, okay, cool. So it's not Boba Fett fighting his twin?
Yeah.
So, all right, awesome.
That's another show. That's Mandalorian. We'll do a Mandalorian show some other day. Let's get to book 1.
I'm sorry. I tangented that time.
No. That's awesome. No, this is all good chat. This is good stuff.
Dude, this book. I'm just going to hit mute so Mike can talk for a minute, and then I'm going to fucking run away.
Yeah, so as if KOTOR, the first game, wasn't popular enough, the second one came around, and right smack on the cover, you get Darth Nihilus, who may be the best designed character. I mean, he's awesome. And you got the same deal going on here with the newsstand version and a photo cover and there you go. and then a regular cover. And he got his first appearance here. And this book has, unbeknownst to me, has overtaken the other issue, the 23.
Yeah.
Because I think this is newer spec for people for whatever reason. I think that all of a sudden they got caught with their pants down and realized the whole time they've been looking through boxes, they've been grabbing 23s and leaving the 24s behind. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, wait, there's something good in 24. Oh, God, it's really good. Oh, crap, I left it there. Oh, shit, it's gone. And now this book has kind of overtaken it. This is, I mean, look at that. Come on.
It is an awesome design. That Black Series figure that's coming out soon, I had to buy one, and that's
so did I. The one from
I had to go with my Batman pick with this because I'm like, he's just too awesome.
Is it GameStop that has that figure?
Yeah. And I think they're getting restocked on the Revan in the white outfit, from what it said.
This had been undervalued for way, way, way too long. The Revan and the Malak books had gone up correctly, I think, in my opinion, and this one just kind of stayed down for some reason for a long time, and then all of a sudden, just exploded. And I think it's for good reason. It's an amazing design. If they reuse this character, even if they don't reuse this character, who cares? It's still, he's badass, and this book is now kind of where it should be. We might see these same 5 books kind of flip-flop over the next few months, especially if we get some news.
Yeah, rotate.
The 5 books that we just talked about are all in their own league. The other stuff's good. There's nothing wrong with the other Darths and the other Sith. I'd say go buy those too. But these 5, these are the ones. And this is the one that's the sort of the hottest at the moment. But like I said, next week it could be Bane. The week after that, it could be back to Revan and Malak again. There's no reason why it can't be any one of these. Maul is always popular. And that legacy book is just a monster because it's got so many things going for it. Yeah. So those are your big 5. Ben, what are your thoughts on Darth Nihilus here?
All right, man. So first, there's so many fucking aspects to this book. This book is such a monster. All right. So this is absolutely a first full. It's a first everything.
Just wish he was on the cover. That's all.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Christ.
That's
so before we go crazy, I will say this book for a while was a $20 flip when 23 was a $50 flip.
Yeah.
Because I sold the bejesus out of this in 23 and 19. 19 was the $100 book. It's funny how fucking shit changes in Star Wars. That said, we were all talking about it earlier. Star Wars spec right now is like Silver Age in 2014. For those who aren't familiar, in 2014, AF-15 was like 12 grand in VG. It was like $3,000 a point. And oh man, not the people buying, but jackasses like me were like, it doesn't go much higher. It might gain a little, but it's not going to take off. I don't have to finish the story because you guys all know that's. I mean, the things I do to pay $3,000 a point.
Yeah,
right.
Please? And we're not talking grands when it comes to Star Wars yet. We're talking maybe hundreds or maybe even tens, depending on the.
We're talking the same theory of people going. It's expensive. It's 100. It's not going to jump.
Right.
I bought a 9.8 Clone Wars one in March. It was the only one on eBay after they all sold out and got hot at 200.
Yep.
And I paid $300, and I remember people going, "Holy shit! You either just set market or bought the best book ever." And I was like, I'm never going to lose. It's a Disney book. I'm never going to lose. It's Star Wars. It doesn't matter if she never, honest to Christ, and I believe this, she can not show up on Mandalorian. She can not show up anywhere.
Doesn't matter.
Star Wars books don't rely on cinema. Let's make a TV fucking show out of that. All these books, Nihilus, everyone who knows wants this shit. This dude, what about it? He fed off all the other life energy or some shit and almost destroyed existence.
Yep.
What? Who doesn't want his book? And then when you see
2 books.
You're right, Peter. He does have 2 books.
That's it. That's it. That's all of it.
Yep. So there's no
like those are going to go crazy.
Yeah, and all these characters are like that, and all the characters that we've been talking about, like Ben said. I mean, I've said this 1,000 times, and it's a broken record thing. But man, all you have to do is see the line around Ashley Eckstein's table at Celebration to understand that nobody cares if that character ever appears in anything else ever again. She's the hottest freaking thing. Right, and it's not going to stop, and it doesn't matter if she appears. And if she does appear, it'll get even hotter because she'll just get more fans. And now Rosario Dawson's table is going to be the same thing. If it's really even Rosario, who cares? It doesn't even matter. And Nihilus is the same way. Bane is the same way. Maul is the same way. You can kill a guy off 72 times. No one will care. The character is cool. Everybody wants it. And Star Wars fans don't relinquish this shit. So,
Boba Fett's the easiest explanation, though. Yeah. Look at Boba Fett. He had barely any screen time, did basically nothing, died like a goof in Jedi, but people love him and love him. Like, it doesn't matter.
There's people that only collect Boba Fett stuff. Only. There's people that only collect Darth Maul stuff. There's people that only collect Ahsoka stuff. And I assume there's people that only collect like KOTOR stuff like Nihilus and Bane and or Revan and Malak and that kind of stuff. So, you know, it's just one of those things where there's so many different sets of fans hitting the same book with a fairly low print run for what it is. The supply just is not there for the demand on any of these books. And as a result, they're just going to continue to go up and up and up and up and up and up. So,
and that's why this is getting $100 or more.
Yep.
And I think it's cheap.
Yep.
I think $100 is a good buy on this book because it also has, I keep thinking it has Kyle Katarn. It 100% does not.
George, I love you. We're going to talk more about what you just said too. Sorry.
Cannabis problems.
I'm sorry, George says it, and to think people used to bash Ahsoka. Oh man, you're on my soapbox. You're up there with me, brother. For 2 years, I got made fun of about that character.
Star Wars fans,
she's my favorite. I love her, and everyone's like, "Oh, you're an idiot. She's snip. She's annoying." I'm like, "Yeah, so is Luke Skywalker. Go eat a." Okay.
Yeah, but who'd you think was in this book?
What you dick?
Exactly.
What'd you say, Peter?
Who'd you think was in this book? It was not first.
Oh, that's important. Yeah, Jesus Christ, Morello, stop derailing me.
Sorry, we get the tray up.
I'm drinking. I can still focus.
Yeah, no, but Visas Mar is in this book.
Yes.
I'm like, I know that's not a huge thing, but like, I don't know, man. I like added value to my fucking.
Yeah. It's why the Legacy book hits so hard. There's 3 different reasons to buy, or maybe 4 or 5 different reasons to buy that.
Well, to be fair, though, the Legacy book, the 3 reasons are strong.
They are strong.
You put anyone next to Nihilus, and you're like, but it's also got like, and there's only 2 pages of Nihilus in here, and that's where I'm headed with is the Darth Traya stuff.
Yep.
A bunch of people tried to say, like, when I put the list out, they were like, oh, you missed Darth Traya. I'm like, I don't fucking think so. I'm like, so I never adjusted it, but I now know why, because I learned to research and talk to people.
It's not Darth Traya.
The quick and easy is it's not, but it's also, it's not for 100 reasons. So people that are like, this is how we shift out of number 1 and into a tangent, because on that note, Darth Sion does not appear in comic books.
Nope.
So as much as, and I've been guilty of it myself, I put it right on the list. I said Coder 34 for Sion, and then I read Coder 34 like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, how has nobody been like, hey, wait a minute, dude. Lucian's not Sion. Can we move on? Like, case closed.
Yep.
So it's really important that you it's the same with everything. It's not just Star Wars, right? We say it to everybody, check the spec.
Yeah, and there's another one Topher and I have been looking for years now. We're like, we know there must be those sages of Dwardy, the ones that the statues that are in Palpatine's office. We're like, those characters must be in a Star Wars comic someplace. We have to find them. They don't exist. They're not.
I was gonna say immediately Dawn or Sith. The Golden Age.
Yeah, they're not in there. Even as a matter of fact, here's the pisser. Even the statues are never fully shown. Son of a bitch. The only one is Sage Sistros, which is on the staff of Masameda. That's the only one you ever see for real in the comics. And it's a miniature of a statue that's in Palpatine's office of a dude who existed way back that we've never seen. So yeah, there's a lot of that in the Star Wars comics. Anyway,
so
we're way down the rabbit hole.
I got a moving on question. Oh no, we have to do an honorable, right, Peter?
Yeah, we have an honorable. Yeah,
and then I got a question.
Okay, cool.
Sorry.
All right, honorable mention's an important book too, and it's sort of a shift because there was some thought it was a different book for the first appearance of Savage Press, and
I got the $2 bin digging tomorrow too.
And we now know that Savage Press's first is in this free comic book day comic with an awesome cover, which I'm sure is a swiped animation cell from the show. But a really cool appearance, a great cover, and one that's really thin and easily thrashed. Usually has about 72,000 ticks in the spine. This is and it's a black cover on top of it. So this book is a monster to try to find in a 9.8. I'm not sure I've ever seen a 9.8 candidate for this book, to be perfectly honest with you.
Mine's not. But I'm pulling this down because the reason why I have this in dollar bin digging is you got to pay attention because you want this. Wait, I'll make it big real fast. Just to kind of get this out of the way. I'm going to write about this. You'll see my stupid video about it. But if you want this book, the reason why is you want to keep an eye out for this book because it may be bagged this way. And if you see this, you know this is on the other side.
Yes.
Who's selling it may put it in a dollar bin because it's an Avatar book that nobody cares about, and then you just found yourself this book without really knowing it.
Yep.
That's why I have it in tomorrow's list.
That is the only way I was able to find them when I went looking.
Yeah.
I scoured the internet, couldn't find any. I went on eBay, kept a search, couldn't find any. Finally, I went, wait a minute. 2011 Avatar, and I found a seller, $3.99 a piece, 5 copies, and I went.
You know why that makes sense? Because it's a free comic book day book. So free comic book day pulls out a lot of people who don't normally buy comic books.
Yep.
2, a lot of people may watch anime, might watch Nick at Night. They know Avatar, so when they have this book and they say, "Hey, some people like buying comic books. I'm going to put my comic books out for sale." They're going to try to sell it as an Avatar book because they know that show. They think that's why it's important.
Well, and it was also a way to get people to watch a new animated show. It was like, oh, they already watch Avatar and anime. Let's get them to watch Clone Wars, and this we'll put this book on the other side. Maybe it'll get them to go tune in to Clone Wars too. So,
I get why Dark Horse is on a
Did you have a question? I thought you said you had a question.
So, and we briefly touched on it, but we're going to go over this.
Yeah.
There are multiple places that reference that Maul and Savage. I know it's Savage. I know you Star Wars folks want to do that, but man, doesn't it sound so much cooler when you're just like fucking Savage?
Yeah,
Savage oppression.
Yeah.
That said, it's Sith Lord.
Savage sounds like a Frenchman.
But can't be a Sith Lord because of Bane and the whole. This is where we don't go down the rabbit hole, Morello.
Okay.
With stuff that people don't understand.
Okay, can I make it quick? I got to answer.
We do cover the rules so people get that, but we can't go into statues about dead people's relatives' guests or animals, Morello.
Sorry, no animals. Sorry.
Go ahead, brother. Sorry. Seriously, though.
No, you're totally.
A couple reputable sources have said, in reference, blah, 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 Sith Lord.
He can't be.
And why?
Because there's rule of 2, and he's always the third dude alive. He can't be a Sith Lord. Ever. And then he dies, and then he gets killed by Palpatine. There's never a time where he could be the Sith Lord. Never.
And that's how you clip something to be like, can't be, and this is why, have a good day. Stop telling people it's this.
Yep.
Same with Talon.
Yeah.
Cover shot. Have a good day.
Yep. There it is. Boom. First appearance, not number 2. I don't care if she's in the panels or not. Should we get to some questions? George had a great question.
100% want to thank people.
Wrap this part of it up.
Yeah. Guys, but also thank you for being in the chat. Thank you for being involved tonight. We really appreciate that. You got some great questions in here too, and some really great chatter. George.
That's incredible, Peter. Peter's graphics have been over the top tonight.
And of course it may be Jorge, and I'm sorry, George, if we're saying George and it's supposed to be Jorge. But the question you had earlier is what's wrong with? Oh yeah, we should get to this. Let me pause while we do this. Make sure you're going over to Comic Book Invest, checking out all the free content that we all love to give. Make sure you go over to Tales from the Flip Side YouTube channel and checking out all the amazing shows. You've got everything from the main show on Monday. You've got Nico's Weekend Update. You've got Ben and John doing Vintage Voyage. You've of course got this show
on Sunday.
Yeah,
I'm going to plug it quick. On Sunday we have Pre-Code Atlas Horror.
Ooh, cool. That's cool. Not talked about nearly enough. That's awesome. You, of course, have the Hot 10 show based on Ben Stein's amazing Hot 10 list from CBSI, the rundown of that show on Fridays. There's just, the content.
I heard Morello's on a three comic show.
Yeah. What about our show, Mike? Me and Nell.
And then I was going to say the most fun show that really has really grown to something really fun and really cool for us, where we interview creators and just kind of chat about, but we just nerd out with creators. It's really fun. It's Chris Nelms, myself, and Peter, and we have a guest on. They pick a theme. We chat about books that deal with that theme. It's really fun. Ben's been on with us, and we had Leg On live on Tuesday. It's been a really fun show, and we've got a lot of great guests coming up. So please continue to join us on that show. We're going to maybe do lots of good stuff, and it's all free, and we're not asking you to do anything except nerd out with us and enjoy it. Maybe be in the chat and throw out some questions. Speaking of the chat, George had a great question, which was, what's wrong with Kanan 6? Well, nothing's wrong with Kanan 6. It's a great book, but it isn't the first appearance of anybody. Simple as that. None of those all of those characters appear in Kanan 1, every single one of them. And to make matters worse, all of those characters appear in Rebels magazine before that. And as if the American ones weren't bad enough, the UK ones and the foreign ones appear before that. And then there's Lego appearances before that, and all of them are canon. So Kanan 6 is like the 12th appearance of all of those characters.
You know who keeps track of appearances? Literally, you know who keeps track of appearances that deep? Somebody's going to understand this. Fucking Legion of Superheroes. Literally, when you go through the OSPG, the only thing that goes past the first appearance is Legion. You know who else it doesn't count for? Fucking Kanan, Sabian. Like, no, dude.
So Kanan 6 is a $1 book. It's a cool book. You should read the series. The series was really well written, and number 6 is a really good issue. But that's all it is. It's nothing else. I don't care what site you're watching, what thing you're reading. Facts are facts. That book is not anything. It's literally like a
good read.
It's a good read. It has a cool cover.
In depth, you get more into the characters. And I know people come out and they're like, you only get to see this in the beginning of 1, and then 6 really gets into it. Great, dude. Then it's the Legacy 5 of Kanan books.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, Legacy 5 right now.
And they cameo in
that book 4 times a day before. Oh.
And they cameo again in
that's why I made it a back 9 pick.
Somebody please put that comment up. Oh, please put Darth Lopez's. Absolutely, man. It's Darth Lopez. That is how you fix a thing.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
That was incredible. Sorry. Yeah. No. Everybody in CBSI has been. We've all looked at the book. We've all listened to you. We've all listened to Topher. We've all watched, and that's all you can do. Listen to both sides and then accept that the other side is trying to pump a fucking book.
Yeah, exactly. Look, this isn't me trying to make enemies. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to give you facts. The book isn't anything important. You go buy it. You buy 100. I probably have 6 copies of number 6. It's because I have 6 copies of all of the issues. So, but one is good, especially that 1 in 25. I think that's a good book and it's worthy of something. I think that the Rebels mags, especially number 1, the subscription version, is definitely one you should try to get your hands on.
Right?
Yep.
The Rebels mags, both of them, that's the top of the line. You can't argue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like Star-Lord. Star-Lord and Rocket Raccoon. That's exactly what it is everyone wants to jump in. There it is. You know what Marvel Premiere 6 and 7 are worth? or whatever bullshit green cover with Star-Lord Part 2 and 3 are worth? Nothing.
No.
That's what Kanan 6 is.
Yep.
Oh, we get so much more Star-Lord.
Yeah, he was in 3 things before this. And in the case of Sabine, which is, let's face it, the one everyone cares about, she's got a beautiful cover on number 3, I think, of the Rebels mag. Is it 2? Sorry,
it's
2.
2 because I have it. And I have a newsstand. Although newsstand
over, so we should show the Rebels mag 1.
And I also want to say this for all of none of you are watching, so that's good. All of you liars on eBay who are listing these all as newsstands, they're not. Just because they have a barcode doesn't mean they're newsstands. The newsstand needs to say display until and then a date on the barcode. If it doesn't say that, it's not a newsstand, it's a direct.
And that is for magazines.
That's for the magazine. And I know because I own an entire set of both. So I'm not just. This is not speculation. This is me going into my actual boxes and looking at both. So
Peter's got it on the screen.
So again, please don't overspend for somebody saying that it's a newsstand when it's actually not a newsstand. Make sure that you know.
They're the 2 covers of the mag, so you can see it right there.
That's the tougher one, the one with Vader on the cover. They're both great. Sabine is on both covers, so that's awesome. She then gets her own cover on number 2, which is a gorgeous cover.
I don't have that one handy, but
so
I did mention this. So this is another good one.
And that's the 1 in 25 for Kanan, and that's also a tough 9/8 because of the black cover. And there's also an animation. There you go, the animation variant, which is also that one's gaining a lot of steam lately. So keep your eye on that book, guys.
Yeah, I've skipped that one too.
I did too. Peter.
It's just the animation.
The second print is also a monster right now too.
I sold one for basically nothing. Then
Can we talk about second prints? We talk about second prints that are grossly overlooked.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me get. Oh, darn it! I got to get rid of that.
I'm sorry. Are we shifting? And I know we gotta cut in like 5 minutes, give or take, because I know you guys have been on all week, and this is a hot 5 that I invaded. So.
Oh, this has been great. Yes, and Nemesis Prime. You're right.
Ooh. Oh, I'm going full.
Like the full Christmas. Good call.
It looks like a Harry Potter Thestral he's
Dark Vision. That's a cool cover. That's a second print?
Yeah. It's a fucking ridiculous second print. The first
That's
print.
Awesome.
The first print's good.
A Sith horse? Is that a Sith horse? What is that?
Yeah, dude.
That reminds me of that Boba Fett second print. The one where he's like riding the Tauntaun.
The one that I was like, Peter, you're gonna fucking get the mechanical Tauntaun?
Yeah, that thing. Yeah, that reminds me of that. Like just a weird creature he's riding.
I want to put this out there too. Don't sleep on this fucking book.
Yeah.
Is that the second legacy?
Don't sleep.
Yeah, that's the second legacy series. Yep.
Legacy. Don't sleep on this fucking book.
Darth Vader number 1, Brooks 1 in 50 gets no.
I know. I got right.
That thing too quick. Now here's one of the reasons why that Brooks cover gets used on a couple of different things. I have a feeling that has hurt the value of that book a little bit, that they use that art elsewhere. But it's a beautiful cover. I agree. And I
got rid of it too quick. I thought I took the short money, and I regret it ever since.
Yep.
We always regret what we sold and what we didn't buy.
Oh boy. I'm going through the chat here real fast, see if we missed any questions. Guys, if I missed a question, please repost a question for us right now if you want us to chat about something in the last minute or two here. I don't want to leave anybody in the lurch. But
did you see what Marco said? Was that in reference to?
Where am I looking?
Wasn't he also given his power by the Witch?
There we go.
And had no dark side powers.
Wasn't he also given his power by the Witch? And he had that's in reference to why Savage is not a Sith Lord. Yes, correct. Yeah, that's also a good point. But just based on the rules of Star Wars, he just can't be. It's just that simple. I mean, there's no argument there.
That's literally why I asked you and I asked Marco Star Wars questions.
Oh man, this is where I wish I had my gifts handy so I can.
That's why Marco's awesome, because Marco knows one side of it. I know the other side of it. We come together. And now there's really no reason why Savage Opress is a Sith Lord. He just cannot.
Dude, you get Solo Wookiee involved.
Oh yeah, and then all bets.
Speaking of which, when do you guys go live again? Before I know we can do one more topic, then we got to boot. But let's plug Dark Side, man. You guys have been fucking killing it. Language.
Yesterday. I know we ran a little longer than we.
Thank you. And some of them are pre-recorded and some of them are live. We sort of just go off the cuff when we want to go live. We did one recently. We'll probably do one again very soon. We'll drop little pieces throughout. We do some like props and toys and merch and stuff like that. We do some on theory crafting. We do some on. We just did a trailer breakdown yesterday, which was live. So
it's an important one to catch. Anyone who wants to stay ahead of things like Mando, you need to be checking these videos out. This is where you're going to learn.
There was two videos dropped yesterday.
We talked about a lot of stuff. We talked about a lot of stuff in that trailer breakdown that nobody else has said yet. We could be completely wrong, but we brought up some characters and some points that nobody on the web seems to have talked about yet. Just because we love this shit. I mean, again, we could be wrong.
When you're over there, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and smash the like button.
Yes.
All right, let's hop on one last topic, gentlemen, before we all boot.
Yeah, do we have
booted by our wives?
What do we got?
If we have nothing left in the hole, we can make sure we didn't miss anybody in the chat. And Darth Lopez, DZ, Joe Seaborn.
What do we got? Oh, this
Marco, Jay. We appreciate everyone who stopped by.
Yes,
I grabbed this book. I found the second print at a shop recently. That's that droid. Shit, where the hell? I have a hand.
I just put him on the last Star Wars update, or did I not post that one? I did two updates.
No, I don't think it's an update.
Okay,
teaser.
It's on one that's coming.
Teaser.
What's his name? It's like Vader's like. I read about it. He's like Vader's like not sidekick. He looks like follows him around or some shit. But he appears on the cover.
Yeah, on the second print. He looks like a little, almost like that Dio from the new movie. He's got kind of similar kind of look to him.
Yeah, I thought of Short Circuit.
That's right. Yeah, more like a Wally Johnny Five. There you go.
Johnny Five.
All right, so I get a question.
Be prepared for more content, Star Wars content coming your way as well via this little group of folks here. I don't want to spoil too much, but just
no, we're going to be doing some speculation based, and some reviews and some. I mean, obviously, the fucking Hot 100 list is coming.
Yep.
Real quick before we bounce, I want to bring up while I have you and Peter, and if Marco's still in there, and Nemesis Prime, thanks for joining us too. I don't think I said. And JJ Maxwell, what up, brother? I get two questions, so I got to pick one real quick. All right, Legacy 5.
Yeah.
Should that book be worth, from a fan perspective, not someone speculating on an appearance, because I believe as a collector and an investor, I can look at things that Snoopy. I can look at Snoopy, and I know I'm going to fucking overpay if somebody fucking overcharges me. But I can assess honest value to the future of it by looking at it.
Yeah.
Now, and not from a speculatory, but you know what I mean.
Yep.
So when it comes to Star Wars stuff like second and only other appearance of Nihilus, forget the fucking Orbalisk armor, as badass as that is, but it's badass. I don't know if it's like adds any value to anything. Maybe it does. Does a second Nihilus appearance as a collector, are you like, shit, I need that, it's his only other appearance? Or are you like, don't give a fuck?
Yes, we are. And we are because we read the story arcs.
Yeah. That's why I picked it. Dude's got 2 appearances.
Yep.
And that's one of 2 that you can get. It's got
part of the reason why
it's not easy to find. It's not simple to find. It should not be $4. I'm not saying it needs to be a $100 book. Like, I'm not what anybody here is saying, but it should be more than cover. Is all my point.
I believe it.
And it's part of the reason why like the words spec and hot and those things are dirty words on our Tales from the Dark Side.
Yeah, that's what happens on this
because
show.
that's talking about. No, this is fine here. This is the right show for that. But
brother, I'm just kidding.
I'm saying that because we talk about the whole story arc. We talk about what's going on in the pages, man. I don't care if this thing's worth a penny or if it's worth $1 billion. It doesn't make any difference to me. The story.
And that's the important separation.
Yeah.
That's the important separation. This is Star Wars comic market speculation, comic. Tales from the Dark Side is going to give you everything Star Wars and why. Because people who love it, where I'm never going to talk about Coder 5. You know why? Because there's nothing in 5, and there's nothing against 5. It's a great story. I enjoyed reading it.
Yep.
But it's just not going to be brought up here, and collectors and readers do want to nerd out and geek out to that type of thing, and that's, you know.
Let's use Ahsoka as an example. I own everything that she's ever appeared in. I don't care if it's her first appearance or 12th appearance or 112th appearance. I don't care if she's on the cover, the back cover, one panel. Doesn't make any difference to me. I buy it all. And it would be the same way if you're a Darth Nihilus fan. It would be the same way if you're a Darth Revan and Malak fan. I mean, you're just going to buy everything when they pop up. Sabine's the same way. I'll buy anything with Sabine in it. Hell, I bought a book that just had Sabine's spray paint art on the end papers.
Yeah.
Was there other stuff in it that you wanted?
Yeah, it was still cool. It was like the Rebels annual, which was like a hardcover magazine. It was weird. I don't know what the hell it is. It's awesome. It was cheap. It was like $1. I couldn't not have it.
I think the important thing to take away from this, though, is when you're talking about speculation and whatnot, don't let anybody else spend your money. I don't care who tells you what. It's still ultimately up to you, what you want to spend your money on. You research it on your own. Take ownership of where you're putting your dollars. Don't point fingers, don't blame, don't just react to some post or notification you get on your phone. If you don't take the time to research it, it's on you if you screw it up. That's all I'm saying. It's just spend your money where you want to spend your money. Don't follow somebody else's. We're trying to help. We're trying to give you information, but it's up to you to decide what to do with that.
We're not telling you to buy books, other than Morello, who literally said buy every fucking book. But that's
not every book.
No, let me clarify. Buy the books you believe in. Buy the books you believe in.
And because you appreciate it and you're a huge fan, that's why you're telling people to buy it all, because you love it and you want to share your love of it. As CBSI, I'm saying, here's the info. If you want to put real dollars into this, here's what we can provide. And we're pretty fucking good at what we do.
And
I'm gonna end it there because we're way
over what we normally do.
And
buy what you like, buy what you believe in. Like the channel.
Thank you for tuning in.
And thank you for chatting, guys, and sticking around. We appreciate it. We'll see you
very soon.
I'll try not to
be angry going forward.
We'll see you very soon. Thanks, everybody, for joining us.